Okay, so you're here to finally learn how to handle your emotions. Well, you are in the right place because by the end of this video, you'll be able to identify not only the causes of your emotions, but how to eventually get rid of them. Now, the way I see it, your emotions are caused primarily from two main sources. The first being your emotions due to a lack of clarity in your trading strategy. You haven't fully tested the ins and outs in your trading system. You want to be able to ensure that you have absolute clarity in your entry, your exit, your TP placement, SL placement, trade management, timeframes you're going to use, the setups you're looking to trade, and much more. All of this needs to be understood in great detail. I mean, no wonder why you'd be emotional, because you don't completely know if the strategy you're trading is profitable. Many traders online find themselves in a situation where they're only trading a particular strategy because they've seen someone else who's profitable trade the same strategy, so they want to trade it too, but that same person who's profitable may apply the strategy differently to you in the markets, which is why we don't just backtest to determine the success of a strategy, but also to ensure that we understand the strategy properly ourselves and that we can actually trade it profitably on our own. So you want to make sure that you've back tested and live tested the same strategy thoroughly to ensure to yourself that you can trade it profitably. And when you can see the live data in front of you, see the positive results, you can then dive deep into it, understand your losing streaks, your biggest losing streaks, your win rate, your average risk reward, trade frequency. And once you've done all of this and you've really understood the data in front of you, then you won't be too phased in the markets when situations take a turn, and it will give you confidence and also the skills to combat your emotions when they do arise, which they will do in the live markets. There's a quote that has recently gone viral on social media, which I think is from Alex Hormozy, which reads, "You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork yourself down." And that's precisely what the data you will collect will give you. Listen, it's perfectly normal to be emotional, to be stressful, fearful, anxious, if all you've been doing in the markets is losing up to this point. But if you collect data and see the positive results, see the undeniable proof that the strategy works, this will give you the confidence to trade in the markets and keep your emotions at bay. So if you're a person in this situation who hasn't collected data on their system, you have some work to do. And also, do not beat around the bush either. If you feel like you've got most of what I said covered, don't leave anything to chance. Make sure you covered 100%, collect as much data as possible to give yourself that stack of undeniable proof. And once you've done that, make sure that the strategy is profitable, make sure that yourself, you know how to trade it profitably, you will be rewarded. And yet, even with this evidence our data provides, we still break our trading rules. We still take trades we're not supposed to take. We still don't take trades out of fear, close trades too early, lose our composure after a loss, doubt our strategy after a losing streak. So why do we still become emotional and break our rules? Well, this brings me on to my second main causation, which in my opinion, I believe is from past negative experiences in the market, sort of like trading PTSD. Because when you take loss after loss after loss and go through a lot of mental pain, a lot of mental stress from not seeing the results you're after, also having your own money on the line, whether from an account you funded yourself with your own capital or multiple failed prop from challenges, all this stress can definitely build up on a person, weigh heavy on their shoulders, and cause a lot of anxiety in the future in their trading. So even after all the hard work you've done of testing your strategy, collecting data, going through it, we still do experience this fear, this anxiety in the markets, whether it's being fearful from clicking the trigger, getting involved in positions because you've seen your stop loss being hit so many times, so you're still fearful of taking trades, whether it's from holding your trades to your TP because you've seen trades many times reverse against you, come back and take you out break even or even a stop loss. So again, you want to take that profit early to counteract against that, and also experiencing FOMO as well, seeing big moves happen, but you're sitting on the sidelines, not involved in the opportunity, so you still want to take trades outside of your plan. And all of this is linked back to our primal brain, which is responsible for our survival, even our survival in the markets, which is pretty ironic because the decisions we make from our primal instincts do not ensure our survival, but actually our demise. And now you're probably asking, so Miko, how do we solve this? Well, as a person who was losing in the markets for 3 years, this was my biggest hurdle to climb. So looking back now, the biggest thing that helped me break through this wall was definitely my improvement in my self-awareness. Number one, being able to recognize when my negative feelings and emotions came up. And number two, being able to contain them as soon as possible. Because my natural instincts in the markets were to exit trades early, take trades outside of my plan, look to switch strategy every 5 minutes. So if my natural instincts were to do all these negative behaviors, which I knew at the time was definitely having a detrimental effect to my trading results, then I must be mindful enough to recognize when the thoughts and feelings that cause these same actions arise be able to stop them at source and have the courage to contain them. And I chose the word courage on purpose because that's what it really does boil down to at the end of the day: overcoming resistance, overcoming fear. Because once you become mindful of the thoughts and feelings screaming, close the trade or switch strategy, as simple as it sounds, all you have to do is ignore them. But again, that takes courage because it's easy to give in. But you know, after testing your strategy, collecting data, you know that if you stick to your plan, by the end of the week, the month, the quarter, the year, you will be profitable and you have the results you're after. But we still have to fight against that inner resistance. Our brain is simply trying to steer us away from any pain, whether psychological or physical, and holding our trade to TP is a painful experience to go through. Seeing price fluctuate for you than against you, but we know holding to our TP is the most optimal thing to do from our data, from our plan. So we push through, ignore those urges and stick to our plan. And of course, there's some tips and tricks that can help aid you in your journey, such as limiting your chart time so you don't watch your trades too much or do anything irrational, or printing out a copy or writing out a copy of your trading plan, sticking it to your desk or to your wall so there's no excuse to follow it. But the harsh truth is there's no fancy trick out there that will guarantee your success in conquering your emotions apart from collecting that concrete data, proving your strategy is profitable and that you can trade it profitably as well, and also recognizing your emotions when they do arise and then having the courage to contain them. And that, my friends, has brought us to the end of the video. So if you have enjoyed it and found it useful, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I really do appreciate that. If you want to check out more of my content, check out my Forex educational playlist, a lot of free content there. Check out that link in the description to that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you all next week.